Welcome to today's video with Cooking with Zach. Today we will be making an Asian beef salad. And in order to make this we need some steak, which we will sear. We need some noodles, which we will cook. We need some carrots, which we will dice. Some pak choy, which we will fry. Some red bell pepper. Some sugar snap peas. We also need some red onion, some lime, together with some red chili and some fresh ginger minced. To top it off, we need some sesame seeds. In this case I have black, some sesame oil and some fish sauce. And that's pretty much it. And now we will just start off with fixing the vegetables. I start off with peeling the vegetables that need peeling, in this case the carrots, and also washing and breaking up the pak choy. When the pak choy has been broken up into nice leaves and they have been cleaned, I will continue with the carrots. Instead of chopping them into chunks, I will use a peeler and make thin stripes out of them, which will go super well with the salad, making them soft and a little bit of crunchy. After that, I continue with my red onions, which I will just finely slice into thin strips. Those are the bulk ingredients of the salad. And in order to make the dressing, we will start off with a chili, throwing away the ugly parts, slicing it down the middle. And here you can decide how much strength to the dressing you want. If you want a lot of heat, you can just keep the white membranes and seeds within the chili. In this case, I will remove them in order to make it a little bit less heat impactful. After that, I will just chop up the chili. In order to make the dressing, I just take my chili, put it in a small bowl, or in this case a small mug. I take a nice lime and I zest it in order to get that fragrant, nice smell and really punchy lime flavor. After that, I add my ground, or in this case minced ginger. I massage my lime a little bit to get the most out of the juices. Press it into the mug. When I have all my dry ingredients in and my lime, I will use the bulk, which is the sesame oil, together with some fish sauce for some saltiness and some tanginess, which is the key to this dish. Of course, as with any recipe, super important to stir around and taste. And in this case, I taste it for balance. And it tastes like shit. This actually tasted awful. It tasted like beefed up sesame oil. It really needs acidic. So in this case, I have to add a little bit more fish salt for the saltiness, because the sesame oil was just taking over all of the flavors. So I add a big glug of fish sauce together with some extra lime juice. I'm really squeezing it to get everything out of there. Alright, let's try it again. And this time it's good. After making the dressing, I continue with my vegetables. I take my sugar snap peas, put them in a small beautiful pile, and then chop them to death to small pieces. This will all go into the salad mix. which we will dump into a bowl. The shredded red onions, the carrots and the sugar snap peas. These will then marinate in the beautiful dressing that we made after adding some balance to it. We will add this just after mixing the vegetables thoroughly. What happens when we let the vegetables really soak in the dressing, mixing it up nicely, is that they will start to really get infused with the fish sauce and the lime and the chili and the ginger, which will really lift up the flavors. So instead of having a little bit of just dull vegetables, every vegetables will have a really nice flavor, which really will help the dish. After that, I remembered I forgot my bell pepper. What an idiot. So I just cut it up quickly and throw it into the bowl with all the other vegetables. Shit happens, no one shall be forgotten. After fixing the basic vegetables, we're gonna take a pan, heat up some neutral oil, put some chili in the pan in order to get some flavors and some extra kick to our pak choi. When the pan is ready to go, I just dump all my pak choys in there, let them get to know the chili and the oil with a tongue, and just let them fry on a medium to high heat so they get soft and nicely brown colored. They will still have a little bit of crisp left, but they will get all the flavors from the chili and from the oil and just from browning, which will really help the flavors. While the pak choi is on the stove, I take a normal pot, fill it with water and prepare for boilingness. Put it on the stove and turn the heat up. For the pak choi, make sure to season with salt and of course some ground black pepper. You can already now see that they are starting to get a little bit more softer and also a little bit nicely browned. When the water has started to boil, I go ahead and put my noodles in. These noodles takes very little effort. I just put them in the pot with the boiling water, I stir around for a quick second, and then I take them off the heat, put a lid on, and just let them sit for a couple of minutes. In this case, it's 3 minutes. While the noodles are chilling on the stove in the hot water, I take off my pak choys, which are now moist, really flavorful and just really soft. And I just put them on a plate, take them off the stove so they don't burn. After 3 minutes, the noodles are done, which means it's time to just pour off the water. Nothing fancy, just take a colander and put your noodles in there. Shake them around a little bit like it's party time, and then put some cold water on them in order to hinder them from sticking together too much. We don't want to get the entire Asia worth of noodles in one bite. We want it to be a little bit loosey-goosey and nicely spread out on the board. For the main part of the dish, the steak, and I will just put some basic seasoning on it. It's a good meat, so I don't want to destroy it with anything. Some salt, some pepper, first on one side, and then I just flip them around, smack them around, and then of course just put the seasoning on the other side as well. Make sure you season thoroughly because it will really help the flavors. And then straight into a sizzling hot pan. Yeah, it's definitely hot. Down they go. Ah, listen to that beautiful sizzling. That's exactly what we want to hear. Here you can decide what temperature you want in your steaks. I like them to be medium approximately. So just let them go for a couple of minutes on each side. Make sure you flip them once while they are browning nicely. Already you can see that we're getting a beautiful caramelization Maillard effect on these steaks. A few more minutes on the other side and then just put them on a cutting board and let them rest. They've really been sweating a lot in the pan. And now it's time to put everything together. Here I'm using my big cutting board, which I've just cleaned up quickly in order to make it look delicious. Put my noodles on there as the base. Of course, I take my beautiful vegetables that have been marinated in the dressing. Put my fried pak choys on there. I use some salted peanuts, which you can either have on if you want to, or you can just skip them. And then I take my steak and I cut it up away from the grains in order to get it as juicy and as tender as possible. Slice them into strips and then just put them onto the beautiful noodle vegetable pile, just like that. To finish it off, I just take some sesame seed. You can fry these in the pan if you want to. I just took them as they are. Alright, that was it. The only thing left to be done before this video comes to an end and before I get to eat for real is to, of course, try the Asian beef noodle salad. So I just get a little bit of noodles, a little bit of the steak, a vegetable, so a little bit of everything. Well, and now, here we go. Okay, so you really get the chili kick from both the dressing that we made, but also from the pak choy. It's really coming through. You get the salty flavor from the fish sauce. The dressing is really king here. The dressing could have had a little bit more lime juice to make it pop even better. But the beef, the peanuts for some crunch, just such a simple dish and such a showstopper. You put this board in front of your friends or your family, no one is gonna complain. This is really gonna be the highlight of a great dinner. So I highly recommend it. And now I will go and finish this off. Have a great night.